Hi everyone, it's Denise with Wondubar Crafts. Okay, so this is like take two on this video. I don't know what was happening. I could not get my brain straight trying to do. In this video, what I'm going to do is the signatures, and for some reason I don't know, I could not count it earlier, so I had to stop the video and take a break and figure it out. But I did want to do a little quick shop share. This is from Melody at Willoughby House. I asked her, I showed her some, I got these from Crafty Cat. They're the winter journal covers, and they're very similar, but this one has a longer piece in the front. This one has a shorter piece in the front. But I showed her the color of the fabrics and stuff on there. And she, to match up some fabric flips for me. And then she sent me this cute little extra pack. Thank you so much, Melody. I love this. Look at this. Gosh, this thing is so tight. Look at how tiny that little clip is. I need to know where you get those, Melody, because those are so adorably cute. I mean, gosh. But I love this. This is so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. And I love how she made this little, she made a little pocket with, like this lacy fabric. And then she put a piece of ribbon in the front to make another like little belly band. That is a really good idea. I'm stealing that idea from you, Melody. She's probably like, oh, I got it from somebody else. But yeah, that's really cute. I like this. And then she sent me this other one, and it has a cute little tag that has like, how adorable, right? Like a little notepad flip, like a notepad tag. I like that. Oh, I like that little velvety. You know, I remember this kind of ribbon as a kid because my mom used to do a lot of sewing and back in the day, a long time ago. My mom used to make she used to buy fabric and make our clothes for us, like when we lived in Guam, because she made us little like little moo-moos, little dresses to run around and play in. And so they were quick and easy, kind of things. And I remember she used to put she'd make Sunday dresses for us and have this little velvet ribbon. And I remember sitting in church, just sitting there, and I'd be feeling the velvet. It was just so cool. It just brings back memories. Thank you so much, Melody. So she sent me those. And look at this cute little thank you tag. And it came with a beautiful little charm on the front. And then these are the flips that I got from her. And she made some flips with clusters. She made I think 8 of them. I think she said. I think there was 8 here. And she said, just pick the ones you want. And I was like, I'll just take them all because they are just adorable. I love them because I love that brown and blue together. Because it doesn't even have, this doesn't even have to be wintry. You could use this in a brown and blue, if somebody liked brown and blue journal. So, and then she made little clusters to match, right, which are great. And I like the little sparkle in this. And then I love this one. Oh, that's so pretty. That lace, or that little embellishment, so pretty. I can't wait to start using my embroidery machine, because my embroidery machine makes I have patterns to make lace and, to do these kind of things. So I just need to find the time to sit down and play with it and do it, but I have so many other projects that I'm working on. I did get the cozy bowls that I've gotten done listed in the shop. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different patterns in there. And then so I listed them individually because not everybody needs 4, not everybody needs 6. So, you could buy 1 or whatever. If you find that you like one in particular and there isn't enough of it, send me a message and I'll be happy to take a look and make sure that I have enough fabric to make you some more, or possibly have something that's similar. So, but look at these cute these little clusters. These will be really cool on a tag, or even at the top of a page, or even to put a paper clip on there and make little paper clip tags, So the problem is going to be choosing which ones I want in the journal because they're all so adorable. Look at that. I love this fabric too. Sometimes those, you look at a fabric and when I go to the fabric stores, sometimes you'll look at a fabric and go, I don't know. Something like that I would because of the laciness of it, but if it just had that pattern on there, I probably would walk the other direction. It's got to sit next to something for me to go, oh, okay. Because we tend to just look at that one and just, nah. But I notice like when I'm in the quilt stores, when I'm in the fabric stores, I'll get bolts and then I'll be like, try to match it up. Oh yeah, that would look good with that. Oh yeah, yeah. Me and fabric stores, always been like, that's my addiction, my big addiction. I love fabric. So I really love this one. This is going to be one probably I would be hard to part with because it's so pretty. But I will use it. So love these clusters. So pretty. She has a really good eye for like her color matching too. Getting those things to match up like that. See how, isn't that pretty? I mean, it looks like two different whole totally things, but they can go together with, the great thing is the colors in those are so similar with that one, or even with the browns with that, Pretty. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have a hard time trying to figure out which one of these. I'm going to have to do like a vote. A vote on the one that you want to see go in the journal. But those are what I got. I will list her shop below. I know most of you may already know who Melody is. If you have not checked out her shop, please go do so. She's such a sweetheart, and she's always been so supportive of my channel, and she makes the cutest little fabric flips, I swear. So yay. Thank you so much, Melody. I love them. Thank you. And they are going to go so well in this project when we get around to it, which will be probably the next journal project that we'll do. We're going to do something similar to the last one, but a little different though, I think. Where we may add some, I'm going to show you guys how to use your zipper feet to make like almost like a buttonhole, but much longer, so you can make a tag tuck. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do that on your sewing machine. And most sewing machines are fairly simple, so even though it may not be the exact same buttons, they will be very, very similar to use on yours, chances are. So all right, let me go put these over here in the corner in my project pile. I got a big stack of fabric about this high, just looking at fabrics I pulled out to do some more cozies with. So if you don't see anything that you like right now, sorry, the post office, the mail is at the front door. If there's something that you don't see right now, just wait a few days or whatever. So as soon as I start getting these cozies in there, I'm gonna I'll get more and more loaded. They may be under a separate listing, because I don't want to overwhelm with too many of this patterns to have to look at in one big huge listing. So I may have multiple ones. And I'm also going to start doing, let me show you. Oh, hold on. See there went the lady. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that I had an Amazon package coming. Normally I try to stay close to the doorway. My son went and got him, and the dogs. And our mail lady is such a nice lady too. So my dogs won't hurt her or anything. They just bark at everything. But so that AccuQuilt, the Go Me's that I gave away in the Go, has dies that you do. And this one is a pattern from, obviously, the mitten pattern, okay, and oven mitt, but it also is, you can buy a die that does a I believe that's a 6-inch square, and then there's a 10-inch square of a crazy quilt block. So you got a block that's this size, which I do believe is about 6 inches. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's about 6 inches. Yeah, 6-inch, and then there's a 10-inch one that you can buy the die for that, and it cuts all the pieces and it gives you directions on how to sew it together. So it doesn't look like a square, but when it's all fitted together the right way, it turns into a square. So I've been making some of these oven mitts, and they're really cute because you can kind of fold it up, you know, if it's too long for you, or keep it down if you're going deep into the oven. So I'll start making some of these and list them. I'm going to make plain fabric ones and also some crazy quilt ones. But those take a little time because you have to make the blocks and then you have to lay them out, or, you have to make the quilt blocks and then quilt it to the insulation, and then cut it out and all that stuff. So, but anyways, let's get to today's project, which is doing my signatures for this journal. And I have decided, I was kind of up in the air on whether or not I want to do 3 or 4 signatures inside. I'm going to do 3. And the reason is 3 just seems to be, those odd numbers always seem to be, and I'm talking really loud and I don't understand why. Sorry about that if I'm blowing your eardrums out. Not meaning to. Just getting a little passionate here. So, really having, those 3s, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, they're always symmetrical. Even in quilting, you got 9 patch, 3 patch, 3 square, 3 different color, whatever. And don't get me wrong, there, you can do things with 2s, with evens as well. But if you're going to do it, you need to be symmetrical all the way across. Well, for me, I think because my book covers, which I've got just the templates, and I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it black and do something for the front, or I think I'm going to put a fabric cover over it, but I think I'm going to paint this, I'm going to do this white. So, but because this is the length of it, and the width, is like 5 1/4, and then I do believe this is 8 1/2. But by the time I cut down my paper, and all that stuff, because I've got some edges around it that I need to cut, I think these particular sizes work best, and with the digest, the Reader's Digest ones, which are a little bit smaller, work best with odd numbers, 3 and 5. I think 5 is going to be too many. Honestly, I just do, because then you're going to end up with a book that's like this thick, and I think 3 is perfect. So that's what I'm going to do, is 3. I've already counted out these papers. Like I said, this is my second attempt at this video. First and mainly because I was having problems, I think because over here the sun was coming in and it was beating down and I couldn't see anything, and I kept looking over so you could kind of see a little bit of the sunlight still coming through and giving it shadow. It was really bad earlier. I mean, really bad. So, I had like my book plates over here to try and cover it, and yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I've already kind of got it segregated off, and I did recount everything to make sure. I'm using 3 separate digitals. The one is from Crafty Cat USA, and it is the cabinet card digital. I'm using a couple of the pages from it. I'm not using the whole thing. I will be using a couple of her pages in here, and I'll show you those. I'm using My Porch Prints Bee Journal kit for some of the papers in there. I backed some of the digital kit from like Amy's with my my tea-stained papers, digital. And then I've got one other, and they are from, those are going to be my center pages for my the center of the signature, which are called RetroWallDecor. and it's their back flower set. And I will link all three where I got all three of these digitals, because they are just gorgeous, all three of them. And I really liked it because the individual that I'm making the journal for, she's she's a queen. Okay. So, and when I say that, I mean, you know, when I was in the military, they all called me Queen Bee, because, it was like, you were kind of like the woman that everybody attracted to. They came to you for knowledge. They came to you because you were experienced, and she is as well. She's a very, very intelligent, very lovely, very beautiful woman, both inside and out. And she likes purple and she likes pink. She's a little bit leather, a little bit lace. She's kind of got like that sweet balance there. So I didn't want to stick strictly to the bee thing, but I found that because it had a lot of lavenders and pinks and stuff, and we could kind of play a little bit off the queen bee kind of thing. And I'm doing something very special for the cover, and I don't want to give it away yet until I get it done and show you guys what I'm going to do for the cover, because that is something that I'm going to have to do on the embroidery machine, and that takes time to get done. But I will say it will be a fabric cover, and it will have embroidery on it. So that's all I'm going to say. So most of you have probably done journal signatures, and this is going to be very boring to you. And I understand if you just kind of go about your own business, or you're crafting along or whatever, doing your own project, I get it. And then for those of you who are new to journaling, welcome. And I hope that this will not be confusing for you. Signatures should not be a confusing thing. They're very simple to do. Some people can just snap them out in a minute. For me, I like mine to be very symmetrical. I like to have the same amount of pages, and I almost like to have something similar in each of the signature pages. So they aren't exactly the same, but they're the same, if that makes sense. So, and hopefully when we go through this, you'll understand why. So I'm going to do 3 piles here, and this will be our outer cover to the journal. Okay, so I kind of like this one as my first, the British Bee Journal, right? So this will be the outer on that one. This one's pretty evident that this is going to be, I think I want this one as my 3rd signature, and this one as my center here, like this. So that will be the end of the center journal, and that will be the inside. I could actually do it this way if I wanted. I might actually do that. So that'll be the center right there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with my avocado, I've got the graph lined. So instead of putting it this way so that the lines are this way, I'm going to lay it almost like a traveler's notebook journal, and I will cut them down so that it'll be a shorter page in there, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to do that in all 3 of these. So let me kind of spread these out a little bit. Okay, I kind of like this darker one in the middle. All right, and then I have my own tea-stained paper, so I like the polka dots to be in the middle. And I have this one here. We'll put that in the front. And I'll put this other cringy one in the middle. And she does like a little steampunk, so we'll be adding a couple little things in there. You know me, I'm not huge into steampunk. I like the steam. I'm starting to like it. I'm really starting to kind of get into it, but I don't want to overwhelm it with this, because really I think she is really into kind of more of the leather lace shabby chic kind of feel. So we're kind of going to stick to that. So I've got some of these, and I think I want, let's put this one on the end. We'll put the heart in the center, right? And we'll put this one there. And then I have some avocado dyed composition notebook paper. And your signatures, if you're new to this, do not have to be set up this way. I'm just kind of showing you my process and how I do this so that, see how they're not all three is, apologize. Hold on just a moment. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I noticed that we're not all in picture here. Okay, so I know this third one's kind of off because the paper is whatever, but so, but you notice that they're not all exactly the same. I'm not putting the exact same type prints, but just similar. So I've got a doily, doily, doily. They're different shapes kind of thing. And some of them, they will be the same, like the composition notebook. Now this particular notebook paper I got was that pen and ink. And when I put it in the avocado dye paper, the ink came off. You could see how it kind of bled a little bit. But the great thing is even though it did that, it's still writing paper. Okay. So we're going to put those in here like so. And then I've got some, I think I need to open that. So, and then once I haven't folded anything and I won't fold it until I get, and then I'll figure out like if I have to cut these down to make sure it's not going to cut anything important, off. So we got some coffee filters that have been dyed. And then this is coffee dyed paper. And, actually, let's put this one. I like this one. So it came out really nice, kind of grungy. And then this one's kind of a few lines in it. And then I got some mulberry paper here. She likes the purple, so I don't want to over-indate it with too much purple, but and then I've got one that's kind of got a goldy hay looking stuff in there. It's that mulberry. It's got the pressed flowers in it and stuff in there and fibers. Okay, so I got some journal paper, and this is a ledger from this is 26. I've got some of it goes earlier because it's like it's like from this membership thing. And I got bought a section that was like section Z. So it didn't have, so it kind of goes from a lot of years in between. So, but see, it says like 1927. So this is fairly old ledger paper. And I thought I'd put some of that in there. And then I just have this, it's like an address book thing. But, the important thing is that it's used for journaling, really, right? So why is it junk journal? So, okay, so this is one of Crafty Cat's pages from her cabinet cards. And I just backed it with my digital tea. Sorry. My little girl, she's been laying down, and since yesterday we had, that big storm, that tornado stuff that blew through here. It luckily didn't hit us. It could have hit some surrounding areas. I know I talked to my Aunt Barb a little bit ago. Their Walmart, part of their roof blew off. She's down by Branson, Table Rock area. So the winds were really high. I don't think she said the sirens went off. So she, hit out. Here, we don't get sirens. We have no sirens out here. We have to depend on our phone. And the only thing I got was, oh, it's a tornado watch. But after my lights flickered and I heard this boom, boom, boom. Like it sounded like something was touching down. Oh, sorry, something was touching down. So I knew at that point, I think something was going on. And then when I pulled it up, oh yeah, man, I feel really bad. My heart goes out to the families of those individuals who passed, the Amazon warehouse and the, the candle factory and all the homes that it took out. My heart and my prayers go out to them because that is sad. It is a very sad thing. That originally this morning they said, 250 miles and I think it was 4 states. And now they're saying, oh no, it was 6 states and 500 miles. The last time they had a tornado like this that traveled that length was, I think, the one that hit Moore, Oklahoma. back in the, you know, because the one that hit Joplin here was pretty bad, but the one that hit more Oklahoma was even bigger, I believe. But they were saying it was like that. So the storm was pretty bad, and it rocked the house quite, you know, boom, and a lot of shaking. And so she's been kind of nervous today. So I'm just putting a piece of, actually, I got this from Melody a while back. And so she sent me a little package, a little happy mail with some coffee dyed papers in it. So thank you, Melody. It's going in the journal. And then this one also is another one from Crafty Cat's, her cabinet cards. This is very, very pretty collage, and I just did the same thing, backed it with that tea stained stuff. So we'll put that like this. So I think I want this like that. And then this is part of the My Porch Prints. It has some plain and some, you know, lined paper in there on both sides. So that's what I did, was printed it kind of on both sides. So that, yeah, okay. Now, I have plenty of music paper, but what I did was I just put a sheet here, and I'm going to put a sheet on my last, signature, and then in the center one, I am going to do this pretty little snippet of wallpaper, okay? And it just gives her some extra writing area here. I mean, it is marked, but we might put like a little pocket or something in here, okay? So, and that's what we may do with the music papers, put pockets or tucks or something like that in those areas. And that's why a lot of people just leave them like that, and that's fine. But for me, if I'm gonna, I'd really like to use those. I haven't always in the past, let me just say that. But I do like to use those to put pockets or tucks in now, because the music paper is beautiful to look at, but really, are you going to write over it? Probably not. So let's use it for something feasible. So, and then I have some of my lace dyed avocado paper, which is going in there. Yeah. This one, I don't know. I had something, I think I had a piece of actual real lace that I had placed on it, and then I tried to do it again, and I couldn't get the pattern to repeat, because I think because it was a dry piece of lace, and it's like, man, I can't dry this every time in between, you know, so that's where it went. Let's put this like so. And get one more piece of that, like so, in there. All right, and then my center pieces, these come from my porch, or the wall paper, the RetroWallDecor is who it's from. So let's see, do I want this one as my first one? I think so. I think I want that in my very center. This is the one I know I want in my center signature, so I want that like that. Actually, I think that was supposed to go like that. And then this one, if you kind of notice, it just kind of goes up like this. And I think I want that like that. I want that. Oh no, I think I wanted that as my center. How do I want that? I think I want it like that. Like that. Okay. So those are my signatures built. Now all I have to do is like fold everything, and you know, so that becomes a slight process. That is probably something I don't need to do a whole lot of, but I just kind of wanted to come on and show you guys kind of how I build it. Essentially from here, I'm just going to fold everything in half, and then I'm just going to leave them together until I figure out, you know, definitively the size that I'm going to, because as you can see, some of these, you know, they have this area here. So we'll have to cut all that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and I'm going to fold everything up and kind of show you. And then I'm not going to cut anything down right now until I'm definitive on this will be my, you know, but actually, you know what? I think we can cut it down. We can, because I'm pretty, that is going to be what I'm going to use. So we can cut it down, and so I can show you that process too. So let me pause. Let me fold all these together, and then that way all I have to do is pull out the cutter and then show you guys how I cut everything down to make sure that everything is adjusted the way it is. Okay, so let me pause and let me get that done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all three of my signatures folded, and as you can see, this is out because I will take this page out, because I think what I'm going to do is make it a side little tuck in here instead of cutting the end off, because I did the same thing with the ledger that I had in here. See, what I did was I just folded it inward so that I can make it a tuck. So I think I'm going to do the same thing with these two. So I'll have 3 tucks in there. Just 2 will be from the avocado die. What I did with that avocado die is I cut it down. So, all right. So when we're making our signatures and trying to figure out what size we need to cut them, because you're going to need to cut them. Now, some people, they like that rugged edge where, you know, when you stack them, your furthest papers, the papers on the top will recede further back than the center ones. Okay, so as you can see, they're all the same size paper, but they recede a little bit. Okay, as they start to progress towards the end of the signature or the beginning of the signature, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Everybody's going to have a preference, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, if you like them scattered, do them scattered. I am OCD, and I want them all straight. I understand that all the other stuff is mixed, and it can be all, you know, eclectic and whatever, but this is one of those pet peeve things that I have. I like them. For me, a traveler's notebook, I would be okay with them being scattered like that. Because to me, a traveler's notebook is a little more like on the fly kind of thing. It's more like a on the go kind of put together sort of notebook. But with me, a journal, and it's only personal. It's only a personal preference. Like I said, there is no right or no wrong. And I have seen journals put together where they weren't, and they are beautiful. So it is not right or wrong. It's just my way. This is how I do it. Okay, this is my process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my book cover. All right, so we know that this is 5 1/4 across, and I'm going to use this high-tech method of tracking what size I need, and that is with a sticky note and a pencil. High-tech, huh? Okay, so my width of my journal cover is going to be 5 1/4 inches, right? And my height, and this is going to help me in case I want to add something to, or when I go to do my book cover, to do my fabric covers and all that stuff. And because this is a very simple, it's not a 3/8, a 7/8, a 6/16, or 5/16 or anything like that. You know, this is very straightforward. 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay. So what is great about the fact that this is 8 1/2 and that's 5 1/4, our pages are very similar already. Okay. So if I were to, right here, it's 5 1/2. So we know 1/4 inch is going to have to come off. And then it's at least 1/4 inch. And then its height is 8 1/2, but we're going to have to trim this down anyway. And you don't want your pages exact to the book. I mean, how many times have you grabbed a book and ever seen that? I mean, I won't say it doesn't happen. But if you look at any other kind of book, your cover is always bigger to protect the pages of that book. So Essentially what I'm going to have to do now is take a 1/4 inch off the inside so that, and I could leave them the size that they are, because when I put my spine on, because I'm building my own spine and I'm putting it, I'm not going to have it come from, you can tape it from, make it come from here out. I want mine to set like this so that my book cover is over the top of my spine instead of it attached to my spine. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can go back and see a few of my other last couple journals I've done it that way. And you can do it either way is fine. I just happen to like the way it looks to do it that way. And I can control this way the amount of fabric that's stripped here that glues to the spine, and I can control if it's going to, so if I cut my pages literally at 5 1/4 to this length, I can actually have them recede back further if I want. I could leave it at 5 1/2 and recede pull my spine out further if I wanted. Because you have control over that. Even with it on the outer portion, it's just, personally, I like it. I like a spine. I want my book cover to be like my book cover. That is my, that shows what's, oh, look at this. You pick the book up and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this cover. It's beautiful. And then you go, the spine it's all a separate piece, and it's, you know what I mean? So I know. I'm a little weird on that aspect. So I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to kind of trim this up a little bit, and I will control the remainder of it. Because see, if you see here, it's going to be too long. But if I have my spine attached here sewn, and I have a little bit of gap in here, I can take this off and have it come back just a little bit. You see? So I'll pretty much just take off this little strip here and across the top so that, we recede downwards. And we're not having to take off too much from there. So this is what I'm going to do is 5 1/4. I do believe that is, how much are we taking off there? About 1/8 of an inch here. So, and we can always trim it further later. So if you start small and then instead of doing big chunks, then you can always take off more later. So now remember I said that the outer shell, because of the bulk, as it gets bulky, it recedes inwards. So if we are going to, which should we start with first, do you think? Do you think we should start with the outer part of the journal, or should we start cutting? Because you're not going to cut this whole thing. I mean, you could with a big chopper, but I don't want to do that. I'm just too afraid I'm going to have too much, too much taken off. So which do you think? Do you think we should start with the outer first or the inner first to cut our pieces down? So let's think about this for a second. Okay, so if the thickness of this has got my outer portion cut, it's further out, see? If I cut this first, okay, and I cut it down to here, all right, and then I put these on here, I'm not going to be able to trim all that. So if I trim all that, and then, so I end up, to make that work, I end up cutting way too much back here, which means I end up cutting way too much off here. So start with the first couple pages. That's what I do. So I'm going to take these pages out first, okay? And then I'm going to take these two, because these are going to be tucked, and I'm going to set them just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to even these out. And you can use a big chopper if you so choose. You can use, your normal paper cutter if you're doing it in small segments. Me, I'm bringing out Big Bertha. So all I want to do is I want to cut, first of all, I'm going to cut the top and bottom. Okay, that's it. I'm going to cut my top and bottom. I'm going to make sure that everything is lined up as good as I can. Right. piece off. And no, I do not keep those little scrappy pieces. That is a little too much for me. And I'm just going to do one signature on here. I'm not going to go all through all three. I just want to show you. And I know I've done this before, and I probably didn't explain very well why we start at one end and do it the other way. But this is why we do it that way. But like I said, you can do it any way you want. You want to do it something different, by all means. Okay, so over here, I want it to kind of come to that little niche mark right there, right before the 5-5. So, yep, it took off the white pieces, and that's what I wanted. And then, let's see, let's take a look with our book cover. So when I sew it to the spine, I can have it come in. I could take more off if I wanted, but I think what I'm going to do with the spine is I'm going to come out this 1/4 inch. That should be just about a 1/4 inch. Let's see. Yeah, just about a 1/4 inch even. So, which is perfect. So now we're going to take this out, okay, because those two little things, it may make a small difference, but not that big. So I'm going to do 3 sheets. Let's do 3 sheets here. Okay, my next 3 sheets. All right, and then what I'm going to do is tuck them in here so that I get my thickness back. And I know you got 2 pages in here, over here, okay? And you could technically, come on to me. Okay, this has got us outer. Actually, you know what? I want to take this. Yeah, I want to make sure that I am okay. Yep. You could sub another piece of paper in there for the thickness, but honestly, I haven't. For 2 sheets, it doesn't really make that big of a deal. Okay, so here's my pencil. I'm going to mark here and right at my corner. Okay. Taking that out. All right. Line up my paper there. Probably could come off just a smidgen more. Just a hair. That's what I love about this Big Bertha. She will cut some serious stuff. Now I've put quite a few sheets in here before and I'm like push her. But this does really good. All right, so then we're going to cut. Now remember, the last time I was here. Now we're going to push it just a little bit further, just past that. Because we were on that line before. Now we're going to be up a little bit more. And it will take just a hair off of that. But you can't really tell. Right? So that's why it's important that you look at what you've got, because if you take too much off and you have a pattern that's distinctively, it's going to cut off like somebody's nose or something like that, you know what I mean? And it would look funny, then yeah, you don't want to do that. So we can take these and put these back in so we're not losing track, right, of where we're at. And then we'll use this as our next segment. So 1, 2, 3. We can go all the way to the end on this one. Okay. And somebody did ask me about what kind of paper I use. So, okay, I use cardstock, the 110. I use just a Walmart brand cardstock for my, so for cutting out like tags and stuff that if I want to manually back them, or if I'm going to like a corner piece, you know, for like a tuck, I will use cardstock 110. Other than that, because I personally don't think that I have a EcoTank printer, the Epson ET3750. So here, let me show you. So using ordinary cardstock, okay, for like tags and stuff, works really good. But when you're printing something on the back, it needs to be kind of like a muted. If it has too vibrant a color, I don't think the cardstock works as well. It doesn't hold the color. I mean, you might get a good color, but I personally think that I like the Hammermill 60-pound weight for most of my tags, because it's not as heavy as cardstock, but it's more pliable. And I think that because of that type of paper, you get a much more vibrant print on it. And I love the print that it comes out on. And then for my, if I use journal pages, such as like with Crafty Cats and the Bee Journal, I use the Hammermill 28-pound to print on those. And then for, if it's just like if I'm going to print something to do a collage, or if it's going to be a tag that's going to be backed onto something else, and I don't want it too thick, I will just use the Walmart plain multi-purpose pen and ink. I think it's pen and ink. Or pen and pad or something like that, whatever that brand is. Oh, pen and gear, I think it is. I just use that. But, and then like when I dye my papers, I just use the standard Walmart pen and gear. That's it for that. So I do use and I think too, the 60-pound Hammermill, it's very soft paper. It feels very, I love it. It's very luxurious to me for some reason. I just really like that paper. So, all right, just marking here where we're going to cut. Actually, I think, yeah, there's going to be enough off of there. I don't know. I have to erase that. Because I think I need to take it down just a hair. There we go. And it's okay if you get like a little bit of pencil mark on the edges. You can just take the eraser and erase it off, you know. So put this one back in here. And then cut this bad boy down. Let's see. All the white off of there. Yeah, I might have just a smidgen more. There we go. All right, and then, so like I said, remember it's going to be further in So because remember, we were here, and then just below, we were just above that notch. Now we're right below that notch. And let me show you. Now, if I decide to fold this in, of course I can always I'm just going to temporarily, I'm not going to fold it down too much, but there you go. We're nice and even. You may have, you might have a little bit of, but to me, it's like once you get the signature sewn and you get some other stuff in here, come on, then you'll see what I mean. It becomes so much easier to manage like that. So I am going to pull that back out because I'm not sure where I'm going to fold that in or out yet. And it keeps wanting to shift on me over here. I don't know why. Well, I may have to cut that paper down because I don't think it's... Oh, yeah, I do have to cut it down because of the... because we cut down the others, so... Alright, so let's take a small smidgen off of this. No, that ain't right. A small smidgen this way, not the other way, Denise. Boy, that would have sucked, wouldn't it? Let's see if it fits in there better. Well, I'm thinking it's still... Let me just mark that again, because I need to make sure I get it in there. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. So now I'm just gonna, once I figure out what I'm gonna do, because I may sew that down, I don't know, I don't like to do anything, glue anything right just yet until it just, because we still have papers to sew, we still got, what's that? Oh, that's that doing it. You know what I mean? So, but I've got these other two to cut down, and then my signatures are put together. They're not completed, they're just put together. All right, so then we're going to use this high-tech method here of tracking our binder cover. We're going to stick that on there. That's that high-tech sticky stuff. And then I'm just pretty much going to do the same thing with the others, and that's it. That's my process to putting my signatures together. We will work some more in the signatures, whether it's sewing, whether it's putting some tucks and some pockets and all that other stuff, because that's the meat and potatoes of the journal. So, and until next time, guys, plenty of hugs, loves, and blessings. Mwah. Oh, hey, if you guys do get a chance, I'm pretty sure I did show you guys. Did I show you guys my stuff that I was working on? I can't remember or not. No, I did not. I don't think I did. So if you guys do get a chance, sorry, go check it out. I did load, goodness. I did load My pot holders, all of the pot holders are loaded in my shop. Got tons of them. Look. Oh, and these are just the beginning. If you don't like any of the color schemes that are in there, you know, you can email me, message me and see if you're looking for a particular color or whatever. Just message me and let me know. If not, you can wait. I've got more coming. So those are, I think there's like 7 different ones in there that are loaded up. They are reversible. So, you know, and then I have, those are all made with that AccuQuilt. It's a bowl cozy die, which I will link. I finally became an affiliate. Yay! So, you know, if you guys decide you want to get a go cutter, you want to give it a try, you know, the affiliate link is there. I appreciate it. I do get a small commission, and that also helps me. I am putting any of those commissions away to do more giveaways if I can. So, you know, it could be quick, it could be not quick. It just depends. So no pressure. I mean, I know some people don't like to use the affiliate, and that's okay too. I'm not, you know, if you don't want to, I'm not going to hold it against you if you do. So, but these also are a die for the come on, AccuQuilt Go Cutters. You know, because they have different ones. They have the Baby, the Me, the Go, and the Go Big, and they have a commercial industrial one, the Stylus. However, that thing is huge, and you still have to hand crank it, which I don't get. So, no. No. So anyways, these are the oven mitts. The great thing is I put that like thermal insulation in there, and you can tuck them up. So they're, you know, inside there is a lining that matches the inside of the mitt. Some will be plain. I will put some that are plain that are just have 2 separate fabrics in there. Some will have this crazy quilt block pattern, which they also have a crazy quilt block, and it's very easy to use. Everything is alphabetized, so they tell you what number it is, and they give you instructions on, so this piece to this piece, this piece to this piece, this piece to this piece. Very simple. They have 2 sizes of the crazy quilt, which is a 6-inch and a 10-inch. I used the 6-inch on this, so you can see here, this is the block here, and I made quite a few little blocks and put them together, and I just ran it through the oven mitt. You know, I quilted it to the insulation, and then I ran it through the die, and it cut out the pattern, and I just sew them together, and it's bada bing, bada boom. But I'm going to start making a few of these. These are mine. These were my practice put together ones, you know, but I liked them. I like this fabric. It's very country for me, and it's red, white, and blue. So, I, you know, I always make a couple up extra, you know, to try them myself first and see if I like them and if they work and whatever, and they do. I'll be making some of these, and I may start doing like little kits where they'll have the bowl cozy, this, and, you know, like some pot holders or something like that. So I may do those later, but right now I'm just working these. So anyhow, if you guys get a chance, go over and check them out. I appreciate it. If you're interested in something like that, like I said, if I don't have anything on there and you have a certain kitchen color, message me. I'll see what I can do. So anyways, guys, until next time, plenty hugs, loves, and blessings. Bye, guys.